And voters across the state, they are undecided on whether to support Biden, Trump, or a third-party candidate.
Political reporter Doug Reardon is live tonight outside the Dunwoody Public Library. So, Doug, a handful of Georgia voters have some deeper issues, though, to worry about. They're having a hard time literally seeing their ballots.
Yeah, no, literally, right? And we talked to the president of the local chapter of the Council of the Blind who came here to Dunwoody Public Library in last month's primary to cast his ballot, and he couldn't do it. The machines weren't working. Nobody here knew how to run them. They just hadn't gotten the training. And he told us today that is all too common. He's been voting in elections for decades and says this just constantly keeps happening. So now he's doing something about it and speaking up. Brent Reynolds has been blind his entire life. It hasn't stopped him, though, from voting in nearly every election since he moved to DeKalb County in the early 90s.
I've voted in every election cycle.
But that doesn't mean it's been easy. Brent uses the county's assisted voting machines required by law to be provided at precincts. But when he came here to Dunwoody Public Library to vote in last month's primary election,
they couldn't get it working. There was no action from the keypad. The buttons didn't do anything.
Plus, the volume was so low he could barely hear. Poll workers sent him to another precinct with an assisted machine about 40 minutes away. Brent can't drive, so it was a frustrating day to say the least.
I've had it everywhere I've ever voted, and every blind person I know in the whole metro area, they either get frustrated.
So Brent
Reynolds
took his concerns right to the county.
DeKalb County is in violation of various federal and state laws.
And they listened. Brent is now helping the county test all of their 100-plus assisted voting machines. It's a shame, though, he says, that he had to fight for his freedom to vote.
It is about independence, and that's what we were promised when they first came out with the electronic machines.
And if counties want to know what works for their blind and visually impaired voters, Brent says it's simple. Just ask.
More of an input, yeah. They think they know what would be easy for a blind person to use, but they don't really know how a blind person does anything.
And Brent made a good point, too. He says this isn't just about blind people, visually impaired voters as well. People, for example, with dyslexia may need those readout ballots as well. And as far as that volume issue, Brent says, hey, bring your own headphones. All it takes is one with this very common 8-volt jack, and you've got yourself a better pair of headphones, he says, than sometimes what is provided by the state or county. We're in Dunwoody. Doug Reardon, Atlanta News First.